Go.
Hi everyone, I hope everyone is doing well during this pandemic and staying safe. I am sad that we can't all be together to do our presentations and see what everyone brings, but I'm excited to watch everyone's presentation and to see how everyone did. For my presentation and my critical thought paper, I'm actually doing the pandemic, writing about what it's like for people who are on the front lines, how they are mentally, and just some of the struggles. But for my presentation, I kind of wanted to dive deep and explain a home routine, or what it's like for somebody who is in the front lines, some of the things they have to do when they come home, how extra safe they have to be, and all of that crazy things. So first off, I want to kind of talk about my presentation just a little bit more, and this is not everyone else's, what everyone else has to do who's working in the front lines. This is just the idea of what I do personally for when I get done with work, what I do when I come home, my nightly routine, and kind of explaining my personal routine and everything. So first off, once I get off of work, usually I get off of work about 6 p.m. because I'll do a 12-hour shift. So I get off and I will go to one of the bathrooms in our facility, and I have my scrubs, and I go ahead and I take my work backpack in there with me, and I'll hang that up somewhere, and I'll go and go wash my hands at the sink and everything, and then I'll go ahead and get my second bag out. This is what I like to call my scrub bag. It is a cloth material, so I'm able to wash it every time, and I go ahead and I hang that up in the bathroom. And then what I do next is, usually I have my scrubs on, but I didn't really want to take them off. I'm just going to explain this way. So first off, I have my scrub tops, and what I try to do really hard, and sometimes it can be hard, is I like to take the scrubs from the inside and take it out like this, so that nothing is touching my face, that the inside part of my scrubs, which is usually my cleanest part of my scrubs, and I'll go ahead and take that off, and I will fold it on the inside so that everything on the outside is not touching. And I'll go ahead, make sure that it's like this when I get it off, like this. And I go ahead and I put that in my scrub bag. And usually the next thing is I go back and I kind of wash my hands again, because before I take off my mask, which I have to wear my mask my whole shift, which gets very irritating, but I need to be safe. So I'll take off my shirt first, just so that I don't breathe anything in if I'm taking my shirt off. And then I'll be wearing this mask. I go ahead and I take this part of my mask off, and I go ahead and I put that into my scrub bag. The next thing I do is I will take off my shoes, and then I will take off my scrub bottoms. And what I have to try really hard to do is make sure that my scrubs come inside out. So when I'm taking it off, I'm really trying to make sure that the inside is what I touch the most. So then it's kind of hard to demonstrate with hands, sorry. So then once I do that, they usually end up kind of like this. And then I try and shove this part in a little bit more, just like that. And again, I'll put those in my scrub bag. So then after those clothes are off and everything, I'm kind of just standing in the bathroom like this, and I'll go and I'll wash my hands again, and I will go back to my original work bag, which I bring this extra pair of shoes, and I bring sweatpants and a t-shirt, which I'll go ahead and I'll put all of these back on, and I'll be wearing those home. So then, this is me trying to demonstrate in a bathroom what I do. So then I have my book bag on, I have my other clothes that aren't my scrubs on, and I'll go ahead and I'll take my scrub bag, and then I will take my shoes, and I will usually take them here. This is my car, and I'll go ahead and take my shoes and my bag and put them on the outside, the outer part, the passenger area. I will go ahead and do that. Close it. I'll put my other work bag, which has a lot of random stuff in it, and I'll put it right next to me. And then what I do next is I go ahead and I put hand sanitizer on my hands when I get into my car, just to be extra safe. It takes me about 20 minutes to get home, and then when I arrive home, I usually will put another mask that stays in my car. And the reason I do that is I never know when I get home if I will come into contact with my dad, or I never know, because it's allergy season for me right now, so I can sneeze sometimes and I don't want to sneeze on anything in this house. So I'll go ahead and I'll put that on. And what I want to make sure I do is I cover my nose and my mouth, and I'll come in here, or I'll get out of my car, and the next thing I do is I've just arrived home. I will go ahead and get my bag out, and I have this tote that lays outside that holds all my dirty things, so that I'm extra safe, that none of this is going inside, going near anyone. So that goes in there. I usually will then come into my garage, and we have a sink here in the garage. I'll go ahead and I'll wash my hands, and then I go back out to my car usually and grab my other book bag that has all of my other stuff, and then we will go inside, and I'll kind of show you what I do when I go inside. So this is my house. So the important thing I kind of wanted to show about coming into the garage and into my house is, at the moment I live downstairs, especially when I'm working, so that I don't come into contact with my mother or anything like that. So I go straight downstairs once I come home from work, and I go take off the clothes that I just had worn driving home, get in the shower, take a really hot shower, and while I'm taking a shower, my dad will usually go outside and get into the tote you guys just saw. He'll grab my bag and he'll take it into the wash, and usually he'll wash it about 2 times, just to be extra cautious and everything, which I'm very grateful that he does this for me. It's very nice. Then usually once he washes that, he'll go back outside and he'll take either Lysol spray or Clorox wipes. He'll wipe down the door handles, he'll wipe down the sink I just touched. Usually he'll go out there and also kind of wipe down some parts of my car, just to be extra safe and everything. And the other part about my going downstairs is I have another tote, which is right here, but it's usually downstairs by the bathroom. And that tote usually holds the clothes that I had just arrived in, just so I don't get those with any of my other clothes or anything like that. And what we do with those is I usually wait about 2 different pairs of clothes, and then my dad will come and wash them for me. And the reason I do that is just to be very cautious. Most of this stuff that I do while I'm working as a CNA is just to be super cautious, which is my next point that I'd like to talk about. The reason that I have to be this cautious, and the reason that so many other people who are in the front lines have to be so cautious, is they have people who are over 65 or are autoimmune compromised, or even their little children. So with that, we have to be extra safe. We are exposed every day, all the time. And for me, I have a mother who is autoimmune compromised, which I can't just take lightly. So for me, my normal bedroom isn't downstairs. I sleep over there, and my bedroom is over there. But since we have our living room and our kitchen that's right there, I don't particularly want to walk right where my mother and dad usually hang out, because you never know what could happen. I could possibly sneeze. Even though I'm wearing a mask, it could still happen. So with that, I am downstairs usually. That is where I'll eat, do my homework, I'll take my showers, all of that. So I'm kind of away from my family, which does suck, but it's the best thing I can do so that I can do what I love to do and be a CNA, but it also makes sure that the ones that I love are safe and away from me at all times, which is something very important that I wanted to explain, because in my paper, during this whole time, I try and explain in my paper how hard it is to have somebody during this virus, because all you think about is, could they get it from a single touch? Could they get it from me touching something that they touch? And that's what I really want to talk about for PFA when we're going through. That's a lot of psychological things that I have to go through. I think about a lot of what ifs, and I get myself so afraid, and I know a lot of people in the front lines just like me do the same. So this was kind of a presentation I wanted to do to really explain how far we have to go, how far we have to make sure we're keeping things clean in our house. We can't just come home like a lot of people can when they go get groceries or something. We have to be truly extra safe. And for me specifically, I have a mom who goes through chemo, so she can't get anything that I have. And with this virus, it's so new, and I'm really glad I could kind of show you what it's like for a home routine for somebody in the front lines. So I hope everyone stays safe, and thank you for watching.